Hey guys, this is Chris Monk at Highline Guitars, and today I am fine-tuning the surface of one of my guitar body blanks. And even though I ran this blank through my planer, there's a couple of high spots on it that I need to bring down so that the surface is really consistent. And the way I do that is I use a cabinet scraper, and I just scrape down those spots, checking it with a straight edge periodically to make sure that everything is getting nice and level. And I really like to use scrapers. Not only are they excellent for fine-tuning a surface this way, but they also can leave the wood smoother than if you were to use really high-grade fine sandpaper. You can get an absolutely scratch-free, almost glass-like surface on the wood, and they work really well on figured wood. If you're using like flame maple, it really brings out the flame. The disadvantage with a scraper, however, is if you hold it with your hands, you have to kind of bend it into a slightly arced bow shape, and that's what gives you the most efficient cut. The problem is that trying to hold a scraper this way, especially if it's a fairly thick steel, it leads to a lot of fatigue, and your hands can only hold the blade for so long before it just gets to be too hard to hold, and you've got to rest your hands. The other problem is the action of scraping itself generates a lot of heat in the blade, so even after only a couple of minutes of scraping, the blade can be so hot you can't hold it. The only way you can continue on is if you're wearing leather gloves. But there is another alternative, and that is a scraper holder. And this is a scraper holder that I made myself. You can buy these, but if you've got some scrap wood and some wood screws and washers and such laying around, you can make one of these yourself. And like I said, it's just a piece of hardwood. It's about an inch thick, maybe an inch and a half tall, and it's about 8 inches in length. And I use a couple of wood screws with washers to hold the blade, and then in the very center, to mimic the pressure of my thumbs, I have a 1/4 by 20 T-nut with a thumb screw, a 1/4 by 20 thumb screw running through it. And to use it I just simply have to slide the blade into place. And then tighten these screws down just a little bit. It doesn't have to be really tight, because once I induce that bow with the thumb screw, it'll hold it into place. And then I just bow it. And how much you bow it, it doesn't matter. It takes a little bit of trial and error to figure it out. And then I just hold it like so. And I can scrape all day without my hands getting tired and without so much heat building up that I have to let the blade cool down. So if you're considering getting a scraper, consider some type of holder like this, and I think you'll be much happier in using the scraper. So that's my tip for today.